Hi, I'm Paulina and my brand is called Paulina's Friends, made in Berlin, Germany and born in Berlin. It's a very long story. I think it started when I was a child and I discovered my paintings and drawings from the childhood. So I remembered, oh, you were supposed to be a designer. Why did you study art history and made a career as a gallerist? So it took me many wrong ways to come back to my childhood dream. But it started as a concept store and as I started collecting vintage from couture, vintage from Paris. And combining it with contemporary art and design. And then, yeah, I found out I should start being a designer as in my childhood again. I think that it's a benefit to not have studied fine art or fashion design. I studied art history and at the moment I'm a PhD candidate, so the science is different than being a designer. And being a designer is more entrepreneurship, more than only being an artist, you know. I just started out of necessity, out of nowhere and out of nothing. It's just this radical, fatalistic way of living, just to say, okay, you don't have anything to lose, you don't have money, so you just have to start money with your passion. And it's the way I decided to be entrepreneur as well. So for me, it's like a question of braveness. And I also work with dying people, you know, so I'm like, I don't know how you call it in English, it's like accompanying people on the deathbed at the end of their life. I just hear their stories if they want to share. If they don't want, it's okay. It's fully okay to not say anything, to be silent, just to be present and to touch people and to hug them and to be part of, this is a dignity for me. This is really like a huge present for me. It's like a gift for me to be so close in this very intimate moment. So I know what counts really at the end. To me, what counts is just to have lived your childhood dream and to even to die for it, or to just say, okay, I put everything on the risk, and I'm not scared of losing anything because I don't have anything. So that's why I think I'm successful with what I'm doing. Well, because I was myself many times close to death, and I know that art is rescue me. It's not only self-therapy, it's a way of being alive. And I also exhibit in a fair for art and dying, for living and dying in Germany. So it's a big fair, and my fashion is really close, very close to, because it's very vivid, it's very bold, just connected to life. And this is not the opposite to death. It's just another stage of living, you know. So there is no contradiction. It's just the same thing for me. This season, I don't have seasons. It's unisex, unisize, uniseason, unique, always one of a kind, always handmade. Also the fabrics and are scraps, mainly dead stock or dead stock, leftovers. So I mix and match and combine them in an eclectic puzzle or like a collage. And I have to say that the pieces are already sold. The pieces I showed in New York and in Paris are already sold out. So I have my customers, they're dedicated to my customers, and they wear the name of my customer who bought this piece. So it's a new concept for me to say I don't need a runway show, because the pieces are already sold. So they're not prototypes. They are prototypes and they remain prototypes because I can't reproduce them. I like this idea of when things are not really available, you know. So that's why I'm doing it. It's just like an artistic experiment for me to show sold pieces. To be honest, I was expecting to hear more inspiring stories, some like to get out of more benefit, and why I'm doing it is a voluntary job, it's not paid, blah, blah, blah. I don't have a time, I have to invest my money in my business, blah, blah, blah. But this is all ego. It was really like, okay, you don't have the money, but this gives you sense. So what's the value of sense? This is why I'm doing it. So I think I stopped expecting an outcome or payback from things, because there is no sense of doing things and you still do them and they give you something. I don't know, they give you the feeling of peace or just of being present and just being, how do you call this, mindful. Yeah, mindful.